you might find yourself caught in a frustrating loop, drowning in bills, navigating toxic relationships, or battling chronic health issues. When these patterns repeat, it's easy to feel like your life is governed by a series of random, unfortunate accidents. An outlier exists in wealth distribution. 1% of the population earns 96% of all money. Historical leaders argue this isn't a fluke. They suggest these individuals operate on a predictable mechanism, a hidden law they've harnessed. This concept traces back to antiquity. The ancient Babylonians understood this principle as the law of attraction, the idea that human beings act as living magnets, and that like frequencies inevitably draw each other together. Under this framework, your current life circumstances are the physical manifestation of the mental frequencies you have been emitting into the world. Most people inadvertently sabotage their own progress. They focus their mental energy almost exclusively on the very problems they want to escape. This diagram shows the mechanical flaw in that approach. The universe's governing principles effectively ignore negative modifiers. If your internal dialogue is, "I don't want debt," the system simply registers the powerful frequency of debt. Your current reality is the remaining physical evidence of your past thoughts. Changing your future requires a complete shift in what you choose to focus on right now. The first step requires viewing the universe as a giant responsive genie that follows a single directive. Your wish is my command. To ask effectively, you must treat the world like a restaurant menu. You must provide specific, clear orders for what you want, rather than dwelling on what you lack. Consider Robert, a man who faced relentless workplace bullying. His life felt trapped, his mind entirely occupied by the stress of his daily mistreatment. Everything changed when his attention shifted toward his goal of performing stand-up comedy. Within 8 weeks, the people harassing him were transferred or simply stopped. Effective asking requires tunnel vision. You have to ignore the life you currently dislike to make room for the one you actually want to order. Step 2 is believe. You must operate with the deep conviction that your target goal is already a physical fact, even before your physical senses can actually confirm it. We see the mechanical power of this conviction in the placebo effect. This illustration shows that a sugar pill can trigger the same neurological healing pathways as real medicine, provided the patient's mind accepts the cure as a fact. This can even overcome catastrophic physical failure. In 1981, a plane crash survivor with crushed vertebrae used pure mental focus to reject his prognosis of permanent paralysis. He refused to visualize anything except himself walking out of the hospital by Christmas. Active conviction functions as a powerful physical command that literally forces both your reality and your biology to completely reorganize themselves. The final step is to receive. This requires emotional alignment. You cannot draw a positive future toward you while remaining anchored in anger or frustration. The most direct way to generate this emotional state is through a daily practice of gratitude. One father used an ordinary gratitude rock as a physical anchor. He touched it throughout the day to trigger a state of thankfulness, even while his son was dying of a terminal illness. He maintained that frequency until his son achieved a miraculous recovery. Maintaining a state of joy functions as the engine that pulls your goals toward you. Critics often assume this framework suggests you can just sit on a couch and wait for wealth to manifest out of thin air. In reality, you must engage in inspired action. When the universe aligns an opportunity, you have to physically move toward it. The author experienced this when she set a goal to manifest $100,000. She felt a sudden impulse to sell 400,000 books. Acting on that inspiration led to a serendipitous meeting with a writer, a national magazine interview, and eventually her reaching that exact financial target. The law of attraction provides the roadmap and opens the doors, but you are the one who must physically step through them. Many of us are held back by the assumption that success and health are finite resources, that there isn't enough to go around. To the universe, scale is an illusion. This diagram shows that manifesting a massive estate requires the exact same fundamental energy weight as manifesting a cup of coffee. Mother Teresa practiced this by refusing to attend anti-war rallies, saying, "If you have a peace rally, let me know." She focused exclusively on championing what she wanted, rather than fighting what she didn't. You are the sole author of your reality. The universe is waiting for your next instruction. So, what will you ask for?